Hey guys, Darkness Commentary here, also known as the Challenge Gamer.
Remember where to meet, right?
It's time for the class trial. With Zero, because they're dead.
Go through the red door.
It's about to begin. Red door is right through here. Back up. I can't do that. Here we go. Everyone's ready to wah! Why are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember. Regulations, no. System, save. I am saving before we go through this.
Come on.
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How can I forget a little nut job? She's first part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Well, let's go ahead and drag her here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. I got some tea. I just had a buffalo chicken salad. Just said it, 20 minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Oh, I've never seen that one before. Terrible, you're terrible. Well, so now everyone's here, right? Here, let's hustle the elevator and get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So shall we get done to find out who killed Shiro? Shiro Fukusaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. The murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Angry. There's plenty of work, but show us how far the launch can take you. So right now, Toko, him, and Sakura are my biggest culprits right now.
Shall we go?
Shall we begin?
Well then.
How long can a villain perform such heinous acts on a weaker individual?
Hey, come on.
Fucking Toko, man. What's got her so worked up? Honestly, I'm starting to like Mondo. Him and Kayutaka is getting really close to being some of my favorite characters. There's something odd about Toko's behavior. I don't think a mere shock is enough to explain it. Hey, so was much help on this one. Yeah, you were not. Let's talk to the big guy. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? Bro! You ready? We doing this? I think I've talked to everyone except for... So... Yeah, no choice, we have to do this. Yes. Get a small nod in reply. Let's stay back and walk towards the elevator on shaky legs. Let's save one more time before we gotta go in. You're so far, I can feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone's on, you better gain the descend. Couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. Gonna get a thumbnail shot for this. The steel block sank with a heavy clunking sound deeper and deeper into the ground. And the moment deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The veteran was unaffected, however, and continued descent without hesitation. Until finally... It came to a sudden stop. Time for the slurp. Let us begin the class trial. What do you think? I redecorated. Is it fresh? Isn't it exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Good, good. You're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it, not at all. So let's get the show on the road. Everyone, please find your assigned seats. Not your assigned sets. The curtain opened once again, and deadly judgment, deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, and a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Let's end this now on Class Trial, Episode 2. Open the handbook. Truth bullets. Akuma file. Then Shiro was sick of death at around 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girl's locker room, second floor. The son of blown the object. She was killed instantly. Although Shiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations to Sakura and Eri and may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Shiro has said that she desired to help with her efforts. She might have been meeting someone in the locker room the night she was murdered. The girl's locker room, the amount of blood on it. It's weird. I think that maybe it was a guy, and that dumbbell was carried in by someone strong. She told everyone willing to go on to get stronger. Some assumed due to her inferiority complex being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. So if you're a yearbook card reader, you need a male student's handbook for the boys' locker room, but a female student's girls at the same time. Additionally, leaving someone in your handbook is a violation of school regulations. One of the handbooks found in the main hall has been broken, which is a rare occurrence. Check on Sakura seemed to be work, so we assume it was broken in the handbook of Leon's. Genocide Jack file. Suspected Genocide Jack victims include Kid and many others. They were killed in the same way, mounted on a nearby wall with the word bloodlust and different sounds of common blood. The following indicator is likely to assist with something with their personality. Also, I grabbed was found with a blackish stain on it. 2 locker room posters. Chiro's ebook. This was not found on her corpse. It's apparently gone missing. Okay, I'm starting to think that Sakura was not involved. Because the 2 things changed. Right before nighttime, she was spotted leaving the warehouse. She seemed she was stuffing a loose. Whether she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene, so this is not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. Set skills. Let's see what I got. What's this voice? Increase damage to a opponent when saying destroyed, effective during the whole time, cost 3 XP. Let me keep that on there. I think that's all I have right now. Trial time! Alright!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
You deliver the fatal blow. I forget the controls.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Damn it.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Okay, I forget how, let's set terms how much concentration you can do. Holding down R1 body, concentrate slow passage of time, can you focus?
It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe. Interesting.
That certainly would.
I didn't get to do it on time.
Chihiro's fatal. It appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe.
Got it.
No, it's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell? Found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood. And there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yes! That's...
If you don't mind, I will proceed. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer, the fiendish serial killer, Genoside Jack.
Fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Shiro? The element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to know more? Yes! The line of white noise will allow to disrupt your reactions. Choose both superior to hit these lines so think as obstacles in your debate. This way to keep the white noise from getting in your way. Press the X button to attach a silencer to shoot down the white noise. If you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of white noise, count will decrease. Be careful and aim the silence out. But if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In this case, figure out the silencer and disrupt the situation in front of you. But we're looking at fun. Fuck!
The culprit is Genoside Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, it's wrong.
Aha! Gotcha, bitch! Here we go.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genoside Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genoside Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genoside Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Food lust.
I swear to God, I will slap you!
No.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the heck?
Why don't you tell them?
They are suspended.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genoside Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genoside Jack.
Or you!
Fucking way!
You're saying Genoside Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genoside Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, blotophobia or whatever, remember?
Is Toko Genoside Jack? The answer...
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a split personality. Yeah. Oh. I don't know. S. S. C. I don't know. Schizo?
Now I understand.
Schizophrenia?
Is it because Genoside Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere, and they thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
You know, Toko got a split personality due to her behavior is that
I got it!
her behavior changed.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
That face! Concerning.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genoside Jack?
I won't let Genoside Jack have control. I'll drive it out to kill her. I'll drive it out of the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genoside Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. Control ever again.
You said
Yeah.
if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't...
Genoside Jack took his suddenly lunged backward. A huge tiger car cluster in the next second. Oh jeez.
There. Is it me you were hoping to see? Yes. So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genoside Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genoside Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
I'm confused too.
Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Is this the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I... What's up? Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation.
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind. Just kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
No!
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone.
Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
That is true.
Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than...
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never...
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering you. Instead, I need to get more details about this. Well, Genocide Jill's out.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh,
Yeah,
an
it would.
alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, the
I
scissors.
think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
The power cord.
Huh? How's it any different?
Oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense.
I agree with that, but I totally understand where she's coming
There are
from.
two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Between the murders, first one, Genocide Jack looked like neck and stomach. See a clear difference.
I got it!
Fatal.
For one, the cause of death is different.
Yeah.
In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Suspended, the photos of Genocide Jack victims were stabbed through their hands. Clear difference.
I got it!
What would you suspend her?
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Is she referring to me?
Up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there. Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
That's right. This is?
I got it!
Girl. She's not.
Because
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
in all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
All the victims were male.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
That's true.
Whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Ha! Oh, that is really cool looking, I have to admit. I am taking a screenshot of that because that is actually pretty fucking cool looking.
She's fully equipped. That's right. So I can kill. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't pen, you gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
Same. I can barely tie my own shoes.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
There's only one other person who knew about it.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Dude, calm your wicked ass kiss tongue. I mean, seriously. You look like you're about to shred your tongue on a guitar.
Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, When would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
The locker rooms. Suspicious, very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Not suspicious. See anybody search the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
How did you know that it was
Nothing
she was
strange
murdered?
about that. On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, go ahead.
Sure.
We didn't find the body yet. Called Truth Flashback. If you miss, aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button. You'll memorize the weak spot. Memorize fighters can be shot once with a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use flashback feature as many times as you want. Lie or contradiction, load truth bullets might be memorized from weak spots and make your case. Best time flashback, well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In case you say you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Good luck and have fun.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
Dude, you're stupid.
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you.
I have to try again.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the... That's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So, of course, I would suggest we check the girls' locker room.
There was no time. What's so strange?
Damn it.
Wish you'd taken me with you.
I have to try that again.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Damn it.
Shoot!
I have to try again.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
No, that's wrong!
Wait! We didn't know it was her.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that.
This boy, he doesn't even care. He's got him cornered, but he's acting like
What's the
nothing to
matter?
do with him.
You're not finished.
There is.
There is more to it. We just talked about the differences between the proof you're looking for.
Oh?
It's the cable.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors.
Damn it.
Shoot!
Yeah, I'm dying here.
What?
I need to
the
think.
difference between the case... You want me to explain? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Damn it. Okay, I need to slow down. Okay, Stone, slow down.
The difference? You want me to explain? When I want want to kill. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Wrong. Yeah, I just have to calm down.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I... that extension cord? What? Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genoside Jack. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
I asked you.
Hell yes, that's what happened.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but I think we need to...
Do we really need to?
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering...
Is that right? And I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look... What about all that...
Something's not right. Just definitely was not found. What does that mean? Except Byakuya says the truth. Well, I think so. There's definitely something...
I got it!
Seems a crime.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it...
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even
coffee
if she
stain.
was found dead in the girls' locker room, how could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Rebecca, did you just... I just take you off guard? The sword suddenly moved to crime scene, Rebecca. You're so confident now. Maybe Rebecca even realized the scene could have been someone else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder...
Took place somewhere else. You switch between boys and girls' locker room. Disappearing stain. Disc is wrong.
Shoot!
Okay, try again, Stone. Try this one.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room...
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker, a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't...
So you're saying that...
And there's one other thing I know. You know what I'm talking about. Right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not the same as scrubbed away. It was moved.
Shoot!
Fuck. Oh, damn it. It was moved. Okay. Try again. It's in the boys' locker room.
I gun! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean, but why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but
Huh?
why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' bar? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your Chihiro's handbook. Should have only allowed. She had no way to get into the boys' locker.
No, she did have a way.
I highly doubt it.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
You really got into the boys' locker room somehow?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If
Fuck.
she has that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem.
No, I don't. She used the thing that would.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
I missed it again, for fuck's sake.
She could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Okay, try again. Stone, I'm fucking stupid.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really?
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have.
No, I don't. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Boom.
No, that's wrong.
Got it.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess...
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regular?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just...
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boy.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? She was given the girls' locker room because the one who really did it? I don't know what else
Hold
I
on a
can do.
second. I agree with you, though. I think...
What the? You finally... There's no way she could get in the boys'...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in?
What? What are you talking about?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting.
Huh? It'll make things... Well, all right then.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us?
Oh, I have no doubt it'll mean...
We get a recess, I guess. The class trial has been put on hold, and we head back to Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... the crime scene.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom.
I'd like you to examine the victim. Be sure to
Check again.
examine the entire body.
Examine her.
No, wait.
It's probably best if...
It's not that I'm creeped out.
very well.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave it.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what
Oh
you
my
do at
god!
work? That's not it at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Hands on a brief prayer sucker, then
Be
we'll
sure
examine
to
the
check
body.
her entire body.
Her entire body? What?
Oh shit! She's mad.
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura starts revealing Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This
Is what?
is a boy!
Ah, I see. So,
You're joking, bro.
I wouldn't joke about this.
It's really true.
Chihiro was...
oh what?
Told
You
you
guys
guys.
didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a god.
He was a cross-dresser?
Oh, fuck.
I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Now let's ride this wave of...
Oh my god!
I do apologize. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro...
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is,
She was actually a guy. That would never cross my
because the
mind.
victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy.
So then, there should be no issue. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then lit, and the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook.
So Chihiro really what?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but
Well, I must admit, I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
Oh my god, Jill, stop!
So now everything has been
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever.
what about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned,
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genoside Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the...
What? But aren't you the one...
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have...
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us?
No, I am not effing with you right now.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe.
If you're really telling the truth, then why?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncover it now then. If it was...
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it.
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we?
Man,
I
this is
thought
almost
it
an
was
hour-long
clear
special.
Byakuya did it.
no, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, because if we're wrong, we all...
That's true. Very well.
Damn straight.
Do you not have a mind?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we